Hey YouTubers. So, thinking of cutting the cable bill. Um, I did it recently, and I've got to say, it was one of the best decisions I have made. This video, we're going to talk about some of the things you'll need to do to cut that bill, and some other things that have probably happened that you may end up disappointed about. So, let me just say my cable bill uh, was made up of cable, internet, and phone. It cost me $194 a month for those things. Now, there were a few things in there that I could have eliminated to make that bill cheaper. One, we had blast internet. We could have went with something slower. That would save me a little money. Could have got rid of the phone package part of it. Once the contract was over, who knows what that would have cost anyways. We could have also stopped renting our cable modem router. So I just bought one of these. This is one thing that you'll need to buy if you really want to save money. This one cost $80 at Amazon. There was some good negative feedback on there, positive, negative feedback. So far, pretty dang happy with it. Only negative I will say is the previous unit that I had with Comcast Infinity had a little bit better signal for the Wi-Fi. As you can see, all the antennas are internal. So that was a bit of a negative. If you buy extenders and or additional Wi-Fi routers, assuming your house is wired with Ethernet like this one is. This is not a brand new home, but almost 2 years old. We made sure it had all that stuff in it. So that is, one place, even if you're watching this and you haven't made your decision to cut the cable bill, and you're renting, if you're renting your cable modem router, you could go buy one of these. As you know by looking at your bill, it costs you at least $120 a year to rent from Comcast. So if you buy this, $80, and basically 2/3 of the year goes by, which is what, 8 months, you will therefore then have paid for this. So everything else is basically a bonus. All right, so other things that you need to look into. Let's go and look at them. All right, so this is a smart TV. But right now, we've got a 4K ROkU pulled up. TV is 4K, and really I don't need the ROkU for this one. This is more for demonstration purposes. But that is something you're going to want to buy. Honestly, this LG, which is a pretty awesome freaking TV, it has this, what I will term rather annoying smart function to it. So you can add all these different little apps on here, and you see some of the things you'll definitely want. One being a Voodoo account. There are some things that I can't do with the ROkU that I know of. This has a web browser, so you can watch all kinds of crap with that. I can look at my own photos and videos through USB drive. Music. You would think, you can't do that with ROkU, but you do have screen mirroring capability. So there are a lot of things that the smart TV is nice for. Do you necessarily need it? If you could save $100, I'd say spend that on 4K ROkU. But let me get out of this menu. All right. So, different variations of Roku's out there, and there's other devices for media streaming. This one is a, like I said, 4K one, one of the more expensive ones. And you can see you're going to have all kinds of fun with it because you get to add all these apps. You know, Netflix is in there. I got to add Netflix on my TV. You'll want to have Voodoo. Assuming I can get this to pull up. So I have this ridiculous movie collection in Voodoo. 1,400 movies. So obviously I've spent a few dollars on this. This is a pretty good thing to have here because you can go into Spotlight free and you've got access to somewhere between we'll say 500 to 1,000 movies you can access in there, which is nice. Let's exit out of that. So another very important thing to add, and I don't necessarily favor one over the other, but if I was to pick one, I would go with PlayStation. You have different variations of streaming video, live TV, live cable programs that you can get. PlayStation is one of the best packages, 40, 45, 75, 90, something like that. Philo, $16. I believe it comes with about 20 channels. This one is comparative. Fubo TV is comparative to one of the ones on PlayStation, the $45 package. Something else you'll want to add, Pluto. So I might as well go in here, pull this up. All right, that's good. All right, let's shut the stereo off. So, you see down below, there are all these channels that come with your with the Pluto. I can't say that many of them are that great, but in this one I haven't actually activated, so it has a few less channels on it. The ROkU 4K that's upstairs does have it. But you can see just all these channels that you've never heard of. And you can watch freaking show after show on here until you get bored with it. There's a World Poker Tour channel, sports news, surfing channel. A lot of shit that you don't even see on cable. Fox Sports is on here, which is on cable. Pluto Sports, which looks like they're showing 2016 Stanley Cup Championship. That was like 2 years ago. All kinds of freaking news channels. Some of these are on CNBC, MSNBC, CBS News. A lot of these are actually on things like the PlayStation, Sling. So you're actually paying for something that's free, which is kind of a bummer. Then you got all these freaking movie channels on here. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Now a lot of it's old shit, and it does have ads, but beggars can't be choosers is what I like to say. CNET, which does a lot of road shows, and this thing's pretty cool. Up there you see the picture. all I have to do is hit this asterisk and it'll go full screen. So to get out of it, we just hit our back button and we're out of there. So that is definitely something, in my opinion, you want to add. Now, let's look at what I said was my personal favorite. So you got all these cool apps. If anybody's a Steeler fan, like I am, I can go into this, grab, or I can watch Steeler stuff. There's on that other thing that I just showed you, Pluto, there's a 4K channel, which is okay. And let's go ahead and demo, if I can find it. There you go, PlayStation View. So I'm actually paying for this. I did a trial, 5-day trial, and I decided this was the best one. And one of the reasons I feel it's the best one is because the picture quality was the best. Now, I've got all these awesome 4K devices, and I'm freaking recording this with my cell phone, but that's the way that goes. All right, so just get an idea of all the channels that are on here. Wish I could start at the beginning. Yeah, I can. Let me just run up to the top real quick. It's an alphabetical order, which is nice. Cable box isn't like that. All right. So, starting at the beginning, ABC On Demand. It's kind of annoying with the, depending on where you live, you might get live ABC or you might end up with ABC On Demand. You can go in there and pick all the freaking ABC channels. It's pretty cool. One thing with the ROkU, there's an NBC app that you can go into and you can watch all the NBC On Demand. And I believe there's also CBS On Demand. So a lot of these things, you got to make sure you link them. You get all that on-demand stuff and you don't have to put it on a DVR. That's one of the benefits of Sony. It does have a DVR that seems almost limitless. All right, so there's CBS Sports Network, CNBC, CNN, Cozy, Decades, Destination America, Disney Junior, Disney XD, Do-It-Yourself Channel. That's one of my favorites on here. ESPNU, Food Network. So one of the reasons I got this package is because I wanted to have NFL Network and the ESPNs. If I didn't want to have NFL Network, I would have saved $5. So, all right. So here is we got Fox Sports 1, Fox Sport 2, which I never watch. I need to start watching them. There's FX right now. Shit, Captain America: Winter Soldier's on. And I've never actually really watched FX, so I'm pretty sure there's probably commercials in there. Whatever FXX is. There's a NBC Golf Channel on here, Hallmark Channel, HDTV, another one of my favorites. So a lot of crap here. Let me keep going through here. So we got these local sports, Washington. If I was a Redskin fan, I could watch that, but I don't like the Redskins. I might like them this year. They got a couple guys, Geis of LSU, and there's a guy that ran, a white guy of all things, white guy that ran a 4.34 in the 40. So Apke, APKE. So pretty neat to watch that guy. I think this is Oprah channel. Wish I could just delete that, to be honest with you. It is Oprah's. Science channel. So couldn't even get this on Comcast. So that's pretty cool. TBS, TNT, Fox. Okay, so here's the local channels. So I can watch NBC, Fox, Fox 5 Plus, and there's CBS. And then I guess that wasn't totally in alphabetical order. AMC, Bravo, Cartoon Network, which is one of the reasons we got this, as well as Discovery, Disney Channel, the real Disney Channel, ESPN 1, 2, 3, or News, Fox News, National Geographic, NFL Network, Sci-Fi, TLC, Telemundo, and we're back at the beginning. So just one of the things you will want. So you'll probably want multiple of these. You're going to have, like in this house, we have about, let me see here, 1, 2, just on this level, which is actually the basement, I have 4 TVs. So all 4 of those will need some kind of ROkU. Now, they're not all 4K. There's only 2 4Ks at this level and 2 HDs. So I could get away with the cheaper ROkU over on that TV if I wanted to. But then upstairs we've got 1 TV on each level after that. Or no, excuse me, 2 TVs on the next level, and then 1 above that. So total of 7 TVs, for which possibly I would need all those ROkUs. But if you have other devices, so you see I had a lot of electronics down here, but this crappy 4K player by Sanyo is not smart. But this LG Blu-ray player is smart, so I could actually use that in place of a ROkU in some places. All right, so down here on this level, which is another level in the house, got another router. This one pretty much takes care of this floor and the downstairs patio. So it's kind of necessary, in my opinion, for all this streaming stuff. Other options that you can have that will work. Not that this one's that great, but Sony has different variations of media players. And this one is also connected into it. If you are going to get a 4K Blu-ray player and you don't have a smart TV, instead of screwing with a ROkU, you might want to consider one of the higher end 4K players that have smart features. Like this one, which is a Samsung, I think it's K8500, has built-in Wi-Fi. It's one of their better models. But it has all these different little apps on it. Unfortunately, nothing like what ROkU has. So just if you're going to do the minimal stuff, like you just wanted Netflix and Hulu and Pandora and Vudu or something like that and YouTube, then this would work for you. All right. However, if you need more than that, so we're going to look at a different ROkU. So this is actually a 4K TV here, but I've got a only a high def ROkU on here. But we've already went through the ROkU. So there's different variations of this. The one that you actually want to buy is the streaming stick that plugs into the back of the TV. It's got the microphone button on there, which I have another video out there about that. It's model, I think it's model 3810 RW. And it's got a volume on the side, so you can control your TV, your soundbar, depending on which one you program it for. And it is also, this is line of sight, so hopefully you know what line of sight is. Basically, I've got to be able to see the front of this with the remote. The good one, the 3810 RW, is not line of sight. It actually sits behind the TV set. So there's, something to be said about that. It's worth paying another $20, honestly. But these are, mainly the things you need. If you were lucky enough to have Ethernet in your house, it's another thing that you might want. And that's about it. The nice thing about those streaming services, they also can be used on computers, but you do have to be careful of how many of them that you can actually use at once. This house, there's only 3 of us. I like to run up to 2 at once. And I think Sony is up to 5, so that's good for me. Unfortunately, though, come football season, I may be having 3 on at once. And if we ever have any family or guests over, might be a problem. But that's all I have for now. Thanks for checking out my video. Please subscribe. Later.